What's going on? Welcome to the Top Flow Sports Show, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about this Browns-Denver game, and then we're going to tap into a little bit of what the Browns need to do moving forward. Moving forward to make the playoffs. As of right now, we have a 67% chance of still making the playoffs, so we're not out of things. Things is not out of reach for us. We're still in a competitive situation. We're in a competitive division. We won't likely win the division, but we still have a possibility to win the division. We're still going to be one of the top teams for the wild card spot. So everybody, take a deep breath. Okay, everything's going to be okay. All right, so let's settle down a little bit. I just wanted to talk a little bit. How was everybody's Thanksgiving for one? Leave in a comment what you guys did for Thanksgiving and what you were thankful for and things of that nature. Me personally, I just chilled, hung out with my family and a few of my friends, and we had a great dinner, and we discussed some of the Browns topics, which we always do on Thanksgiving. So the consensus, which was the majority of my family, my brothers, they all was telling me that the Browns are going to be in better shape this year if they decide to go with DTR for the remainder of the season and into the playoffs. They feel like DTR gives them a good chance to win the Super Bowl, or the best chance out of the Browns quarterbacks that we have in the locker room. Me personally, I said this. I said it's going to be Joe Flacco, okay? And then I'm going to just give you guys the reason why I said that. And from the looks of things, the situation is kind of stirring up and ending up being the exact way that I explained to the fellas over the holiday weekend. So right now, the Browns have this thing called a great record compared to what we normally have. We're not used to having a 7-4 record. At the time I was talking about this, we were 7-3. DTR gets out there. He's throwing passes left and right. Like he's a gunslinger. He's throwing the ball, but he's not going downfield. He's not taking too many chances downfield. And when he do throw it downfield, it's inaccurate and it's basically unable to be caught. So when you put all of that in perspective, are we willing to waste this season as Browns fans? I know I'm not. I mean, like I keep telling y'all, I've been around for a long time watching Browns football, and I don't want to waste this season because you never know going into the next season. You never know what ends up happening. And in the situation that we're in this year, for us to be fortunate enough to still be in the playoff hunt makes me really feel like, okay, it's time to make that switch to Joe Flacco. Now, before everybody kill me on the internet about me thinking Joe Flacco can do this and that, I know I don't feel like Joe Flacco is the second coming to Joe Montana. I mean, the guy's 38 years old. He done already passed his prime. He done had his glory days. Those days are over. But what he does have that I don't feel like neither of the quarterbacks that we have here in Cleveland has to offer is what's upstairs, okay? He's been in these situations. He's been to the playoffs. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes. He knows what his capabilities are, and he's not going to get out there and try to do too much. Guys like DTR and PJ Walker, they're still trying to establish themselves as great NFL players. In order to do that, they have to push the issue a little bit, because being someone that only dink and dunk all day long, that's not going to show other teams that, hey, this is somebody that we should put a max contract into. We should pay him a lot of money. They still have things to prove. So while they're trying to prove themselves, they're making mistakes in the process. They're a little bit too the adrenaline is pumping too much. So basically, say for instance, not PJ Walker, because you see what you're getting with him. You shouldn't want him to start if DTR can't go Sunday. And like I said, I'm happy that he was able to do the things that he was able to do when he came in and helped us win a few games. I give him all the props in the world for that, but he's also a turnover machine, and there's no way in the world you're going to finish this stretch with a winning record or make the playoffs with a guy who's going to turn over the ball 2 to 3 to 4 times per game. It's just not going to happen. And then on top of that, not going to throw any touchdown passes. I believe he has one for the season, as well as DTR. And these guys is in combined for a good 5 or 6 games already together. So if they can only get you 2 touchdowns in 4 to 5 to 6 games, that's saying a lot as far as what our defense and the rest of our team has been doing to keep the pieces together. But how long is that going to last? As you can see, as the year goes on, it gets tougher and tougher. You know, the weather starts playing in a factor. Injuries start playing a big factor. Hell, the Browns been injured all season long. So let me get back to what I was saying, because this is a long-winded answer. When I come back and I said Joe Flacco, what he has up here, DTR and PJ Walker just they don't have that at the time. So are we asking him to move around the pocket, get out the pocket, make throws on the run, things of that nature? No, we're not going to ask him to do that. We're going to ask him to hand the ball off, make the smart play at the right time, and don't turn the ball over. If PJ Walker and DTR could do that by itself, we'll be okay. Like, DTR hasn't been going crazy with a lot of turnovers, but he's still turnover prone in my opinion. And sometimes he throws the ball entirely with too much velocity, and the team isn't really prepared for these catches because they're coming out fast, they're coming out hot. Like, sometimes you got to know when to throw a little touch on the ball. You don't always have to be that zip, put so much zip on the passes. That's what's one of the problems are with the drop passes. Now, of course, the player's not going to say, oh, well, you know, he throws the ball too hard and I'm not used to it coming out so fast and da-da-da-da-da. They're going to look out for their quarterback. That's just what players do for their quarterback. Receivers, tight ends, running backs. That's what they do for their quarterback. They're never going to throw him under the bus. But it's no coincidence that since he's been inserted the last 2 weeks, it's been so many drop passes. The timing with him is off, and he's throwing the ball entirely too hard because he's trying to fit it into too many small windows, and a lot of that comes from the game plan where Kevin Stefanski's not allowing him to open the playbook up and throw the ball deep. So now everything's condensed. So when he got to make his passes, he's trying to fit them into these small windows, and it's not always going to work out like that. You got to put too much heat on the pass. So with all that zip, now we're getting a lot of drops. You know, then he gets hurt. So now he has a medical issue with a concussion, and he's in concussion protocol right now. We don't even know if he's going to be able to play. If he doesn't practice this week, would you feel comfortable putting him out there to play? I know I sure in hell wouldn't. So, with that being said, I feel like Flacco needs to start because Flacco knows the game. Our line is beat up, okay? But as they start getting healthy, as the year goes on, and he gets to experience having a great line with the running game that we also have, which we are going to have to utilize that a little more, whether Stefanski want to be cute and make these pretty plays and things like that, whether he want to do that or not, we're going to have to start running that ball and controlling the clock again like we've been doing pretty much all year. So this little, you know, sometimes it made me feel like, hey, he don't want DTR out there. He want Flacco out there. So he want to show everybody why he's going to have to put Flacco in the start lineup by passing the ball a lot with DTR and showing everybody that he's just not ready for this type of competition as of yet. I mean, and that's no shade to the kid because he's still young. He's a rookie. He's learning the game. He's a 5th-round pick. He's not a first-rounder like Stroud. He's not someone we're expecting him to come out and this year just be one of the top 10 quarterbacks. This is not what we expected. We expected him to sit behind Watson and come in and play if Watson were to get hurt, which he did get hurt, but we didn't give him he didn't have a long enough time in the NFL to really grasp the game. Like, he's not putting up points. He's not getting us in the end zone. We need to score points, right? So they're going to put Flacco out there because Flacco is going to be someone that you're going to be able to rely on to at least not make the bad play. Like Flacco last year, he came back and beat us with 2.5 minutes left, down 14. Yeah, some luck happened. Some lucky things went their way and everything like that. But that's just the nature of the game. But at the end of the day, he was still able to lead a drive. And that's one of the things I felt like that killed our season early last year. If we can get that from him, he wasn't terrible all of last year. He lost his spot, but when you're playing on a team that is not really going anywhere, I mean, the Jets weren't even expected to be anything last year. Yeah, they had a better season than what was expected, but a lot of that had to do with Flacco at the beginning of the season. He was holding the ship down. That's all we need him to do in Cleveland. Just steer the ship. Don't do anything outrageous. You know, don't try to go for 350 and 400 yards passing. Give us a solid 225 to 250. You know, hand the ball off. Let's get 100 to 150 on the ground. And I feel like we'll be fine because the defense will get back to being able to not be on the field as much. You know, the longer you keep the defense on the field, the more likely that you're going to get injuries, i.e. Myles Garrett, who is day-to-day, by the way, who will possibly play this week. Knowing him, he's strong, he's tough, he's really dedicated to football. I could expect him to come out there ready to go, ready to play. So that's what I want. I want to see. So to my bros, I tried to tell y'all, Flacco is going to be the guy that's going to take us to the promised land if we get there. And I don't even think this is the year for us. Once we lost Chubb, once we lost Conklin, once we lost Watson, you know, we lost McLeod, you know, we lost Wells. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We done lost so many of our players that to injury that it's kind of far-fetched to expect a team to win a Super Bowl with their second team offense out there, because that's basically what we're playing with. We're playing with a third, fourth string quarterback. Come on, guys. Think about this. Think logically. We're playing with a third or fourth string quarterback at this time. We're playing with a second string running back. We got second string linemen out there. I mean, you can only win but so much and go but so far with your second team, because their second team is for a reason. If they were Super Bowl capable second team people, then they wouldn't be second team people. They'd be starting on another team. So don't get too frustrated, Browns fans, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year. But let's at least make this year competitive. And I feel like Kevin Stefanski can coach. I just feel like sometimes he get in his own way because he's trying to be too cute. Just keep it simple. That's how we won a lot of these games this year. That's how we won against San Francisco. You know, that's how we beat Pittsburgh last week. Sometimes you have to win those hard-fought, ugly games. This Denver came out ready for an ugly game. That's what they were prepared for, and that's what they expected, and they played like it. And then Stefanski came out throwing the ball with a running back that's a backup running back giving you 7.7 yards per carry. Give him the ball a little bit more. You know, hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt to give Ford a break here and there. Don't do reverses. Anyways, as far as the next game goes, if we can get Myles back, if we can get Joe Flacco a whole week with the film, with the playbook, because he's been here for like 2 weeks, so he's been able to start learning the playbook and things of that nature. Now we just need him to practice with the first team. They're in Los Angeles. They're not dealing with this cold Cleveland winter weather that I'm dealing with right now. The reason I even got this on, because I'm still cold. I just came back inside the house to do this video real quick. I'm still cold. But they're not dealing with that. They're in Los Angeles at the, I believe, like UCLA college resort where they're practicing at and things of that nature. So they're going to be fine. If they can get a little bit more healthy, Joe Flacco, he should be the quarterback. The receivers, get them some timing with Joe. Myles come back on defense. Hopefully Denzel Ward will be back, because as you can see, Sutton was really going off on Newsome, because Newsome is an inside corner. He's a slot corner. He's not really the greatest on the outside, but he's amazing on the inside at the slot. If we can get him back to the slot, get Denzel back, now we're talking. I believe that we can actually beat the the Rams that way. Then we have a tough one against Jacksonville the following week. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching the Top Flow Show. Like and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow. And I appreciate everybody that take the time to watch this video. See y'all next time. And it'll be soon. Top Flow Show with T-Main /Trey. It's your boy. We out of here, y'all.